Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by Flatsoid, Paul, 10th Man, and I think that's it in G+. Good to have you all.
Good to be here.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And we've got a couple of people in Discord as well, so very good to have you all. Sorry to get the last couple of people in on off mute. Hey, Travis. Hey, SX. Good to have you.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning. A bit of housekeeping. Any signs of Earth curvature over the weekend?
Not from Switzerland.
Northwest is flat.
Axial rotation, any signs of that?
None of that either. Not of the Earth-based variety.
Definitely not.
None from Discord.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Scientific evidence of what?
Gravity. Scientific evidence thereof.
How do you have a scientific evidence of a concept?
How can you what? Say that again, Platzoid. How can you what?
Scientific evidence of a concept.
Oh, you can't. In that respect, you could argue it's a nonsensical question, but it's only nonsensical based on the religious belief of globe heads. Any
Well,
evidence?
Go
on.
I think the question is important. Any scientific evidence of gravity. So when back in the day when things fell, they needed to come up with a word for it. What is that? So we know the history. So they call it gravity. So okay, fine. Call it gravity. Now, where's the scientific evidence for it? Well, there is none.
Yeah, but the problem is they
Going back to Earth rotation, what about the idea of Foucault's pendulum and the fact that they precess at different rates in different locations?
Anybody want to take this?
Repeat the question, RC. I'll try.
Why do Foucault's pendula precess at different rates in different locations?
Well, right off the bat, that's not a natural phenomenon, so it wouldn't fit the scientific method. So you got to pick something natural.
I don't think I have to pick something natural. I mean, they obviously precess at different rates. The question we might explore is why.
Well, you tell
that's
us.
A man-made. We're
Why?
talking about the scientific method here. We're not talking about man-made devices.
I don't think that there's anything in the scientific method that says we can't observe something interesting from a man-made device.
Let me ask it this way. Please describe the scientific method as to what it is for. Is it just for the natural world, or is it for man-made devices? And please give us a citation.
The scientific method is a way of uncovering verifiable knowledge.
Fine, give us a citation
going back to
where it is.
Going back to Foucault's pendulum, any ideas about why they precess in different locations?
Hang on, Marcy. I'm with you. I want you to prove me wrong by showing that we are incorrect in identifying the scientific method is to natural phenomenon in nature. Once you do that, then you've got to study,
I'm not. I don't really know how to approach that particular question, as in my mind, there's not too much of a difference necessarily when it comes to phenomena that can be observed. Maybe there's something man-made, maybe there's something not, but at the bottom of it, we see different processions in Foucault's pendulum.
How many shows have you listened to where we've described, and by many people cited by QE many times, what the scientific method is for? It's narrow, it's for natural phenomenon in nature. How many times do you have to see this for you to say, well, I haven't seen enough to know what the parameters are?
That's a good servant for the super chat.
Why is a man-made device? I mean, we're nature, right? Like, we exist in nature. It processes at different rates. Why is that not good enough as an observed phenomenon?
Okay, I've got to intervene because it's happened 3 times, RC. So you've given your example to the question that is any scientific evidence of gravity, and 10th man's objection is this is not a natural
Earth rotation.
Sorry, you're talking over me. I'm interrupting because you've said your claim 3 times. So it's not a natural phenomena. So it definitely does not qualify as scientific evidence. Now that's 10th man's point. You're yet to say, oh, I see. It's not science, and that's what you're asking for, so it's not an address to the question then.
I don't see, I've never heard of a citation that says it must be only in nature, no man-made device can be used to observe a phenomenon.
No problem. The reason you don't have man-made things in the scientific method is because when you're trying to elucidate the cause of a man-made object, do you know what the cause of it is? I'll tell you. Man made it. So there's no point putting man-made objects through the scientific method to elucidate the cause, because we already know the cause. Man made it. Unlike natural phenomena, which you may very well not know the cause of, that's the point of the scientific method, to elucidate the cause of an effect, that effect being natural, not man-made. Because we already know what a man-made device was caused by, man making it. You understand now?
Yeah, it seems like you're just hand-waving it away.
Asshole. It is not scientific evidence because we already know the cause of a man-made device, man made it. That's not hand-waving it, it's taking off my belt, unbuttoning my fly, and taking a giant shit on it.
What? Then why was the cause of the procession? Man is not cause of the procession.
It's a man-made device. You're telling me that you're seeing natural pendulums in nature that are processing? No, a man made it, Dick Brain. You don't need to talk over me, RC. This is the point where you accept that man-made devices have got a cause that's already established. There's no need for science. Man made it. The reason that pendulum's swinging is because man made it. That's it. End of explanation. Not science. Not in keeping with the scientific method.
So if I use a beaker to measure reaction rates, does that mean that the reaction rate is invalid?
Right. It's a reaction, the phenomena that you're studying, and has it occurred in nature? Because, no, the beaker's just part of the apparatus. Look, this is not science. I don't care how much you argue about your crappy understanding of what science is or isn't. It deals with natural phenomena. It's interested in the physical and natural world. It's not interested in man-made devices because we already know the cause. It's the 3rd time I've said it. I don't want to circle jerk forever. If you want to tell us what you think causes the procession in these man-made devices, maybe you can tell us what you think causes that, and then we can crap all over that.
Maybe you should ask him the question again.
I don't mind. We've already crapped all over it. If this is not scientific evidence, it's a man-made device. We know the cause, man made it. So it's not worthy of scientific investigation. End of argument. There's no rebuttal to that. That's it. This is not nature. It's not a natural phenomena. No, it's not worthy of science. We already know the course. How many times have I got to say it? However, if we move past the fact that this is definitely not an answer to that housekeeping question, any scientific evidence of gravity, then in this instance, scientific evidence of axial rotation, this is also not that. But if he wants to tell us what's causing this claimed precession, then he's free to make his claim.
Yeah, sure. Axial rotation causes Fulcrum's pendula to precess at different rates.
Oh, so it's a demonstration of the Coriolis effect then?
No.
Yes.
No.
Do you know what the Coriolis effect is?
So, Coriolis effect, you could calculate a
I'm not asking you what you can
potential
calculate.
Coriolis
Don't swerve my question.
But,
What? Don't swerve my question.
But, yeah,
Don't swerve my question.
This is not an evidence.
Stop talking, asshole. Don't swerve my question. Don't tell me what you can calculate in Coriolis. Tell me what Coriolis effect is. Define what Coriolis is. Go.
It's an apparent deflection between two reference points that are moving at different tangential speeds when at the same angular velocity, or could be different depending on.
And is it not claimed that this pendulum, which swings in a straight line back and forth, it's claimed has an apparent deviation? And you're saying this is not Coriolis? So it's not that the pendulum's swinging in a straight line and it's claimed Earth's rotating underneath, demonstrating the two reference frames and the apparent deviation. According to you, R.C. Meisty, this is not Coriolis. Sorry, I'll ask again.
You can use Coriolis to talk about some of these. It's not in and of itself.
Yeah, this would be a claim demonstration of Coriolis effect. You are wrong. This
okay.
is...
Do you have a citation?
Let's just tell him again. This is a claim to be demonstration of Coriolis effect, R.C. Meisty. A claim of two reference frames. The pendulum swinging in the inertial frame, and a claim that Earth rotates underneath at 15 degrees an hour, or whatever bullshit latitude you place it on. That's claimed to be the inertial frame of reference, ergo a claimed to be Coriolis demonstration, RC. Hello?
Wait, so is the claim now that the pendulum is not displaying Coriolis?
I don't
Has
know.
That changed?
No,
now?
let's not pander to that chocolate. No, RC Meisty's just stupid and doesn't know what he's claiming. It is absolutely without doubt a claim of Coriolis effect. He said it isn't because he is A, wrong, and B, stupid. It is a claimed effect called Coriolis, R.C. Meisty. How long do you want to stay here for, saying it's not Coriolis, when it absolutely is? You going to concede so we can move on and actually take the dump on it, or not?
Yeah, I'm slightly confused because I think a day or two ago he was arguing that this is showing Coriolis.
It is claimed to be showing Coriolis. Him saying it's not is just nonsense and a demonstration of his stupidity. He's gone very quiet now, but I need him to concede that he appreciates his mistake, that this is absolutely a claim to be demonstration of Coriolis effect. Once he understands he's wrong, we can move on and crap all over that claim.
And not scientific.
And not scientific claim, correct. Take your time, Meisty. Just need you to say, yeah, you're right, I was wrong. It is actually Coriolis. I just didn't know what I was claiming because I'm a bonehead. That's what we need, RC, in your own time.
RC, I'm actually want to know, if you teach your children, the students, these housekeeping questions, how do you answer if you can't even answer us?
waiting to move on with my point. I need to crap on this assertion. Just need him to concede he's wrong, and it is Coriolis, despite him saying it isn't.
Yeah, I have a reference here, if that helps at all. He's talking about Foucault's pendulum, correct?
Yes. See.
Chat still.
Okay,
Well,
clearly,
what
clearly
happened to the
once I start to demolish it, that's when he'll decide to come off mute. So, because he's decided to ignore me and not concede. Oh, he's on server mute. Did somebody mute him?
No.
Sorry, RC. I don't know how you entered. Did you leave and come back in?
Not that I know of. No, I've just been muted for the past 5 minutes. I assume that you muted me.
No, I didn't. I don't know how that happened. Not me.
Okay.
Okay.
See, are you talking about Foucault's pendulum?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I got something here from Brown's University. If this helps.
Sure, yeah. And what I was saying before Nathan started speaking over me was, yes, there are instances, or there's a frame of reference that you can talk about Coriolis within Foucault's pendulum.
So you said it wasn't Coriolis effect, you stupid dick. So what you're saying is, I talked over you. What? No, you said it's not Coriolis effect, asshole.
No, what I said is...
Yeah! Don't lie! Yes, you absolutely declared that this was not Coriolis.
Now, I said it's not what we're talking about right now.
It's a claim of Coriolis! It is absolutely what we are talking about. If you're claiming Coriolis does what now? Because you haven't made a claim about what it's proving. Oh yeah, you have. Axial rotation. So that would be a non-inertial spinning reference frame underneath the inertial frame of the pendulum. This is Coriolis! So yeah, I was trying to wiggle out of it being Coriolis when saying it isn't, but it absolutely is. That's what I want to hear. You pathetic little dick. Why are you trying to weasel out of your claim that it isn't Coriolis? And now saying in certain circumstances. What about this circumstance, dick? Is this a circumstance where it is? Because I'm telling you now, it is. So would this be one of those circumstances, RC Meisty? You pathetic little weasel?
If you would like to talk about Coriolis with them...
No! You are making a claim using Coriolis. I pointed that out, and you said it isn't. Now you're chuckling and asking if I want to make a claim about Coriolis. This is your stupid shithead example.
If you'd like to talk about Coriolis, Nathan...
You are talking about Coriolis. You just said you weren't.
Okay. I didn't want to go into the Coriolis conversation if you'd like...
Why the fuck would you bring up Foucault pendulum then? Because that's what that is. Did you hear me? Why
no matter
the fuck would you bring up Foucault then when that's precisely what that is?
Sure, Nathan.
Just need
if you'd like to talk and you'd like me to...
If I would like to talk, I'll say it again for this batshit insane, mental retard who seems to think that when he brings up Foucault, that's me wanting to talk about Coriolis. No, it is Coriolis, a claim of a rotating Earth underneath a pendulum. We're still not at the point where I've shit all over this. We're at the point where a pathetic fundy retard can't even admit that when he said it wasn't Coriolis, it is. Pathetic weasel.
I said I'm not talking about Coriolis.
Yeah, you are!
The Foucault's pendulum?
Yes!
Sure.
You
the reference
are! You stupid, batshitting, crazy, fundy idiot! Coriolis is what you are talking about. It's my point. You're getting me blood boiling because you keep denying it. That's what Foucault is!
Space monkey priest? Please refer to me as Space Monkey Priest, not batshit crazy idiot.
You batshit crazy idiot. You are talking about Coriolis and saying that you are not. Then you are interrupting me every time I point out that you have not one shred of humility. You claim this was not Coriolis, that in certain circumstances it could be, and now you're talking all over me. You pathetic little twat. You've got no humility.
I said
it's been recorded. Do you need me to edit it out while you declare that it's not a Coriolis example, and in fact it's me that wants to talk about it? When I point out that it is a Coriolis example, you just can't accept that because you know what's going to happen. You know how we pull this bullshit apart. So you're going to say it's not Coriolis, it's me wanting to talk about Coriolis, when that's what Foucault is. A demonstration of a claim to be Coriolis effect that you're using.
I'm glad that you can admit that. That is a demonstration of Coriolis too.
So we're finally at the point where the fundy wanker projects his ineptitude onto me with his concession. So you're glad I can admit that it's Coriolis when it was me pointing out that you declared it wasn't. No, I'm trying to get a fundy with no humility to admit he was wrong when he declared this Foucault example wasn't Coriolis. That would be you pathetic weasel.
Wanker's space monkey priest. No, not weasel. Space monkey priest.
You're a weasel who just keeps saying his own name over and over again to stop me pointing out to my audience that you have not one shred of humility here. You'd rather get my blood boiling than admit that when you declared this wasn't a Coriolis effect example, it absolutely unequivocally is.
It is fun to get your blood boiling.
So you're just a prick. No,
I'm the space monkey priest.
You're a prick.
No.
So you're a prick. You're just here to annoy people. You're not here to prove your globe. What? It's fun getting my blood boiling. Isn't it fun proving your religious belief in a spinning sphere with this Coriolis example that I'm about to shit all over?
The globe is evident. The globe is self-evident. I don't have to prove it. It's already self-evident.
Yeah, that's what that declared like a true fundamentalist religious zealot. It's true anyway, I don't have to prove it. You've come here to try and prove axial rotation with a Coriolis effect example of a Foucault pendulum. Now I'm going to crap all over that. And you and your fundy belief in a spinning sphere world. If the claim is that the Earth rotates underneath a straight swinging pendulum, and therefore you have this deviation that seems to take place at whatever degrees, at whatever latitude you claim, then that would imply ipso facto an Earth that rotates underneath drones and aeroplanes and helicopters and anything that's not attached to that claim to be spinning reference frame of a ball in a vacuum. Now, if Earth is spinning underneath drones, then drones would take off and Earth would rotate underneath it. If it's rotating underneath planes, then a flight from Charlotte, North Carolina to Los Angeles, typically taking between 4 and 4.5 hours, would only take an hour and a half because Earth would be rotating underneath, as is claimed by this demonstration of a Foucault pendulum. Now, clearly, I have not got the slightest clue what causes this man-made device to apparently deviate, but it's definitely not Earth rotating underneath, because if Earth rotated underneath that pendulum, it would also rotate underneath an aeroplane, and it doesn't.
And certainly everything else that leaves the ground. So
it's called the natural consequences of Coriolis. Either it's there or it's not, and this seems to be the one single thing that none of them can accept, and it's so basic.
Did he get kicked out or did he leave?
It's like they're trying to waste our time wanting to talk about reference frames all day, but the problem is you can't demonstrate this effect on Earth. You can't demonstrate Earth-based Coriolis, because if you did, you would have done it already, and then we wouldn't be talking about it. So I don't know what you guys are doing.
I slipped in a shout out for Good Servant already, but shout out to the Megaworty who says, RC Meisty, boring, self-evident, lol. And then he super chats again and says, the Coriolis / conservation of momentum 2-step, brum brum. Right on, Theo. And he super chats again and says, the globe is self-evident now. No models required. Thanks for all the super chats, Theo.
Shout out AI.
So, any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No.
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 Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No evidence.
Any evidence of the presupposition itself? R value?
I'd like to ask the globe. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going back to R value, but I was going to ask the globers on the panel. Can you explain to me how gas has a surface? Can you explain that to me, please?
Who was that addressed?
Question on the table is, can any glober on the panel explain how gas can have a surface?
How gas can have a surface?
What?
That's
Yes,
correct.
Brenda, how gas can have a surface. That's what he said.
How does what's the
You,
context?
you know,
I
you
don't
know how you
understand.
guys like to say the surface of the sun, which is a big giant gas ball in a vacuum. How does that work, Brenda?
Well,
It's a ball of
technically it
plasma.
is igniting gas, so it's not really...
You're not Brenda, Arwen.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. I thought I was for a moment.
Wow.
The sun is a ball of plasma.
What?
How does plasma have a surface?
Yeah, that would be a gas, wouldn't it? So, yeah, the question still stands.
No.
That straw man didn't answer the question now, did it?
Plasma is not a gas. And it's
It's
due to
highly
gravity, of
energized
course.
gas, right? Highly energized, lots of energy
Yes.
involved with it.
It's energized plasma, and it's due to gravity.
Ooh.
So
What?
gravity causes the sun to have
So
a surface.
the gravity is what ignites it? Or
What the?
Yeah,
a better
gravity-
question is, what is not due to
yes.
gravity?
Oh,
It
it's-
seems like everything is due to gravity to these ballers.
Sorry, did we get an answer to the question? How does gas have a surface?
Due to gravity.
Sorry, conceptual bending of pseudo-Ramonian space-time won't give gas a surface. That's nonsense.
Gravity is not a concept. It's
Pseudo... What does pseudo mean? Sorry, what does pseudo mean?
gravity is a bending of space-time, yes, but it's real.
Sorry, what does pseudo mean? That was my question. Given that the geometry for this space-time would be pseudo-Ramonian for space. So what does pseudo mean?
Pseudo-Ramonian doesn't mean what you think it means.
I
Explain
didn't
to
ask
me what
I...
Riemann function.
Sorry, that's not what I asked. Is this going to be a really short conversation where you just don't give up any answers or say, I don't know ever, and circle jerk us indefinitely when you don't know the answer to a question? Do you not know what pseudo means?
Yes, I do. Do you know
So
what
what does it mean?
pseudo-Ramonian is?
Sorry, what does pseudo mean? Is it not genuine? Sham?
Do you know what pseudo-Ramonian is?
It's the name of the geometry we're discussing when we talk about the conceptual medium of space-time. A concept.
that's not what
Something
that's
dreamt up
talking
by
about.
Einstein,
You
not
just
reality.
take
Pseudo.
words that you-
Pseudo, Brenda. Pseudo. Not real. Pseudo.
Right, not real. Not a real.
Yeah, so pseudo-Ramonian force space isn't holding gas to give it a surface. Pseudo time space does not cause anything ever. It's a concept, Brenda.
Yeah,
No,
you said it right.
space-time
not
is
real.
real.
So apparently,
No,
you're aware
space-time's
that
not real. Let's
pseudo
just get
means
it
not
clear
real.
again. Yeah, space-time is a concept dreamed up by Einstein. Not real, not actual, not physical. A concept. Now, I know that you think it's real because you're a religious zealot. And you think the Earth's a ball in a vacuum. But unfortunately, Brenda, it's not real. It's a concept.
Nathan, I have a relevant
Concepts could be
question.
real.
Short one, if I may.
Concepts could be real.
Nathan? Did Einstein ever claim a scientific hypothesis for his pseudo-Ramonian force space?
Do you
wonder.
know what pseudo-Ramonian means?
It's not a question to you, really. Just wondering.
You don't know what pseudo-Ramonian means. You're just repeating a word that you read and that you don't understand.
Can you tell us what it means, Brenda? Can you tell us what it means?
Length, breadth, depth, and time. Time being a concept.
No, these are real.
Sorry, let's just say it again. I'm going to kick her out because all she's got to come back with is, no, it's real. No, you fuckwit. It's a concept. Pseudo-Ramonian force space. The fourth bit being time, and time's not real. It's a concept. So piss off. Stop circle jerking with us with, no, it's real, because you've basically got nothing. You're pathetic.
Yeah, pseudo-Brendarian zero space.
Pseudo-McWestian two space.
Am I being heard?
Zero space in the brain.
Hello.
But does anybody here have
Thanks, Lord.
any knowledge of my question? Did Einstein ever claim a hypothesis or anything for his conceptual medium?
Einstein was a
What did he say about
pseudoscientist.
it?
All he did was maths on boards.
So he didn't? He never claimed any actual scientific legitimacy for his conceptual medium? Did he try?
No. The thought experiments. Concepts. Not real.
I thought when people joined Discord automatically we were being heard. I didn't know. Everybody was muted until you guys opened the window for us to talk. I just didn't know it.
Sorry.
Did anybody hear Jose? I think
Who
he was
cares?
muted.
What's up, Jose?
Oh, wait, no.
So literally, Newton claimed no hypotheses.
Sorry, have you got anything to
Einstein
add?
didn't claim a hypothesis. All there is the concept of gravity, and nobody knows what it is.
That's correct, Alvin.
really
It's a
it.
concept. That's right.
It's special.
I was just curious to listen to the end of RC argument that he proposed on the Foucault's pendulum, but he was obfuscated and redirected the discussion about something else. But I never heard the end because he wasn't given the chance to speak. But it's all right. I'm up. Yeah.
Jose, are you serious right now? Did you not hear him say that the Foucault pendulum was not Coriolis after bringing it up, talking about Coriolis?
When the Foucault
did you not hear
pendulum
that?
came to the subject that he brought it, he was quickly obfuscated, like, what is science? What is the scientific method by 10th man? And then he kept evolving, but he wasn't given the chance to present his point on the Foucault's pendulum because he was obfuscated. Everybody with a half of a brain knows it. Like half of the earth.
Oh, shit,
Yeah, but the
brains. We're not
Foucault
deaf. We
pendulum
heard you
is
claim
not
the first
scientific.
time. Hold on, Chocolate. Let me tear a strip off this asshole. We heard you claim the first time we're not deaf. You said it was obfuscated. Yeah? No, it wasn't. I explained that if Earth turns underneath the Foucault pendulum, a demonstration of Coriolis effect, then it also rotates underneath aeroplanes, drones, helicopters, or anything else that leaves the reference frame. Not only did I address it, I absolutely pummeled it, Jose! Are you too dumb to listen?
Oh, I hear you, Nathan. Now, was he given the opportunity to rebuttal that?
Yeah! I asked him to define what Coriolis effect was, and you know what he did, Jose? He said it wasn't Coriolis effect. Then we spent 10 minutes pointing out that it is Coriolis effect, with him saying, I'm glad you can admit that, Nathan, because he's an absolute prick, only here to raise my blood pressure. And it seems you're here to do the same, Jose, because I did let him rebut it, I let him make his claim, he denied that it was a claim of Coriolis for about 10 minutes, obfuscating the shit out of the rebuttal, which finally came when he finally said, thank you, Nathan, for conceding that this is Coriolis effect. So no, Jose, he obfuscated the shit out of the final rebuttal which did come, which is if this is a claim of Coriolis effect, then the Earth rotates underneath aeroplanes, Jose. Maybe you'd like to rebut my absolute demolition of his complete crap claim that didn't prove Earth spins. Go!
If I stop talking, it means I'll be muted because I'm going to continue talking. I got to make my point. Now, the thing is, if he wasn't given the chance to rebut...
Fuckwit! I'm not asking you to talk about R.C. Meisty. I've just demolished this shit claim of Coriolis effect based on Foucault. Now, I'm not asking you to talk about my production and how I mute people. I'm not asking you to tell me about R.C. Meisty's conversation. I'm asking you to address my absolute demolition, the one that you said didn't come. Planes would also have Earth rotating underneath them if the Foucault pendulum is a demonstration of Earth-based Coriolis effect. I expect you to address that, Jose.
Because you muted him, right? That's what happened?
Have you got a rebuttal?
No.
Get him out.
Have you got a rebuttal?
Did you mute him in the first 4 words and you didn't let him speak, right? That's what happened?
I'll say it again for this Dumbo who doesn't seem to understand that this is a debate and we're talking about Coriolis effect and whether or not Earth spins, and all he seems to be doing is addressing the production. Now I'm asking you, Jose, what's your rebuttal?
I want to hear RC if he said...
I'm asking you, you stupid retard, and it seems you don't have a one to give me. Have you got a rebuttal to the fact that planes would also experience Earth rotating underneath them, as is claimed in the Foucault pendulum, and declared by you not to have been addressed? You got anything for me,
RC
retard?
was muted. Can you unmute him so he can make his rebuttal?
Go on then, let's see this.
Can you unmute RC so he can rebuttal?
You, Jose, I'm asking you.
Oh, I'll give the...
Oh, what, stutter indefinitely and not give me a rebuttal? Pendulum, Jose. It's claimed that Earth's rotating underneath, but it would have to rotate underneath helicopters and aeroplanes, retard. Have you got anything, Jose, or are you just dumb?
Do you have a picture of flat Earth? At least half of it.
Do you have anything to rebut me, straw man using dick brain?
Yeah, a picture of flat Earth. Do you have...
That's not a rebuttal. I'm asking about Earth-based Coriolis that was demolished when R.C. Meisty claimed it. Now you're here to bleat and plead that he didn't get to make his claim. Yeah, he did. He didn't seem to know what his claim was, and it had to be pointed out that it was a claim of Coriolis, Jose. We spent a considerable amount of time picking his globehead bullshit to pieces, and you're here to moan that he didn't get to make that claim. Now I'm putting the rebuttal to you, Jose, a complete retard. And it seems that you're asking me about a picture when I'm asking you about Earth turn.
I wasn't able to give the first answer to the housekeeping question. Any evidence of a curvature? Yeah, there are pictures of Earth.
It seems you're giving me yet another red herring. I'm not asking about curvature, I'm asking about axial rotation. It seems you're too dumb to keep up with this conversation. Why are you here when you can't even keep up with the conversation? Why am I asking if you can't keep up when it was your bleating about this conversation that I'm trying to address? Didn't you want this conversation to come through clearer, Jose? Weren't you moaning that it wasn't clear enough for my audience? That it was obfuscated? I'm trying to have this conversation about axial rotation with you, Jose, but it seems you keep changing the subject to a different argument. Don't you have a rebuttal, Jose?
I wanted to talk about curvature. I was muted.
Yeah, I'm talking about the thing you bleated and moaned about. You said you didn't get to hear the rebuttal or claim in regards to Coriolis. So it seems it was enough for you to moan about this, but now you want to change the subject. Can't have been very important. Why are you bleating and moaning about something that I'm desperately trying to argue about with you, and you keep segueing away from, Jose? Why would you moan about something that you don't even want to talk about?
Is it because you don't have evidence of non-curvature, Nathan?
Sorry, not curvature, you stupid dick. You're segueing away from your own complaint, you retard. You complained about the point regarding Coriolis effect. You moaned about this, you retard. Now you want to go on to something else. So why did you moan about it, you thick idiot?
I complained about RC. He had a point.
Yeah, RC made a point about Coriolis that you said didn't come through. Now I'm saying it did come through. I'm putting the rebuttal to you.
It did not come through. Any evidence of flat Earth?
It didn't come through? I think I'll repeat it now. The claim was that the Foucault pendulum demonstrates a deviation based on its latitude. That was R.C. Meisty's claim. I heard it, I'm repeating it. That's his claim. I then pointed out that that was a claim of Coriolis, which this fundy fuckwit denied. Then I had to hold his toes to the fire, Jose, for about 10 minutes to get him to concede his own argument of Coriolis. And then when we got there, we pointed out that if Earth rotates underneath a pendulum, it also rotates under planes. Now, are you going to address this, Jose?
Yeah, RC wasn't given the chance. Any evidence of flat Earth?
What? So you're going to say he wasn't given a chance? Not only was he given a chance, I debated about it with him for about 10 minutes straight. I've paraphrased his claim and the rebuttal, and you're saying he didn't get a chance to speak. How can I paraphrase his claim then?
Well, he was muted every other word. You didn't let him make his claim.
His claim was that the Foucault pendulum demonstrates a deviation depending on latitude. That was his claim!
You didn't let him answer the whole thing. You muted him.
Answer? You just said he didn't get to make his claim. Yeah? Now you're saying he didn't get to rebut my absolute demolition of his claim. What, that planes would rotate underneath? That Earth would rotate underneath planes also? Yeah, I did rebut his claim. I did hear his claim. And he had nothing but to tell me that it was obvious anyway. And that he didn't need to prove it, Jose. That was his rebuttal. Did you not hear him say that he didn't need to prove it?
I heard him answer in Discord, but nobody heard him on YouTube.
What? So nobody heard him say that he didn't need to prove it and then be declared a religious zealot by me? Yeah, they did hear, Jose. You're just attacking my format rather than this argument you deemed so important to highlight that it didn't come through. I'm trying to have that argument with you, Jose, but you don't seem to want to. And I'll tell you why. Because it's already been absolutely pummeled. The thing you're complaining about not happening has happened, Jose. I've unbuckled my pants, took down my trousers, and shit all over his claim, Jose. I want to know why you keep complaining.
I joined for the first housekeeping question and I was muted.
Oh, so now you're going to complain about you being muted. So you've gone from...
Get rid of this guy.
Sorry, say again.
He's wasting time. He's not even serious about answering any question you give him. And then he's doing the same thing RC is, except with this issue.
Yeah, basically. But this is the level that the fundies are at. They come in to try and make a claim about Foucault pendulum proving Earth spins underneath, deny that it's the effect of Coriolis effect, and then when it's pointed out that it is, and how we can undo Coriolis assertions, they fundy mute button me, talk all over me, and then get assholes like this dick Jose to complain they haven't had a fair hearing. Yeah, we heard his claim. He claimed that the Foucault pendulum proves Earth turns. We've heard it all before, Jose.
Earth curvature, first housekeeping.
So what? Back
I
to
was
the first
muted by
housekeeping
there. I want to
question.
talk about Earth curvature.
No, we want to talk about axial rotation, the thing you moaned about not having a fair crack of the whip. Don't you want to talk about axial rotation? Why not? Why are you obfuscating this? I want to know what you wanted to know, Jose. You wanted to know why I obfuscated this question. Now I'm going to do the reality of this situation, which is your projection onto me that this argument didn't get heard is now going to come back on you tenfold, because I want to make certain, Jose, that you explain to your fundy friends who believe the Earth's a globe how it's spinning with this argument, Jose. I'm going to demonstrate just how big a fucktard you really are, you total mong. Now tell us, given how important it is that we let R.C. Meisty's Coriolis argument through, how it proves Earth spins, Jose. Go, you dumb fuck.
Earth curvature, yes, pictures from...
So is that Earth curve? No, you can't comprehend. Is your English that bad that you don't know when I say axial rotation, that's not Earth curve? Are you really this stupid? Do you need some more English lessons?
Axial rotation,
That's the one.
Pendulum. Thank you.
That's the one. Yeah, Foucault pendulum. How does it prove Earth spins, Jose? You wanted this argument, so let's have it.
Gravity. Yes, things fall down.
That's the no. It seems that your Spanish is conflicting with your English. Not gravity, not Earth curve. Axial rotation claimed to be happening with the Foucault pendulum. Do you want to explain how this proves Earth turns? Go.
Gas pressure without a container. Gravity.
No, you're just retarded. You're just stupid, Jose. So when you came in, let's just make it clear for the audience what's happened. They want to attack me and my show format because they can't attack the arguments. He's come in and moaned that the axial rotation argument didn't get a fair crack. Now I'm giving it him. And is he taking the opportunity? No. Of course not. But he'll bleat and moan that someone else didn't get the opportunity to make the argument that was absolutely ripped a new one. But will he have the argument himself and prove Earth spins? No, but he'll moan about the production.
The ISS, 17,000 miles per hour.
Jose,
Yeah.
Jose, why don't you want to have this argument, Jose? I don't understand. You're fighting for R.C. Meiste's rights like you're some type of global justice warrior right now.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Do you understand the argument at all?
I want to talk about Earth curvature.
He's not even doing that, Chocolate.
He's just said he wants to talk about Earth curvature. So when he came in to bleat and moan about the argument for axial rotation not being given a fair crack of the whip, it was actually a complete lie. He wants to argue himself for Earth curvature, so he just lied about me, discredited the way I run my show, discredited how I talk to R.C. Meisty, and demolished his claim because he's lying and wants to argue Earth curve, because they all lie and can't actually argue the point they're moaning about. So he's just a liar. Jose's a liar. We knew it anyway.
Yeah, he didn't have a fair chance. You muted him all the time. Like
yeah, now I'm giving you that shout.
Because I want to talk more about Earth curvature, and now if I stop talking, that means you're going to mute me.
You realize there were super chats about his argument, right? So obviously his argument was heard.
Face, and you don't want to address either one of those, Nathan. Can you show me a picture of Earth, at least half of it, because you don't understand 3D. When I show you a sphere and you say, where is England? It's in behind the sphere, because you cannot, you freak out every time you watch in the mirror and you don't see the back of your head, Nathan, because you...
Sorry, asshole. You're still not covering the axial rotation argument. Yeah, we're not covering the axial rotation argument. He's just scattergunning us with a whole load of new arguments. He's come here to moan that the axial rotation argument didn't get a fair crack. Now he refuses to talk about that argument.
Yeah,
why are you obfuscating this argument, Jose?
When you don't see the back of your head, Nathan?
Why are you obfuscating this argument? Why are you obfuscating this fundy argument? Are you secretly a flat earther who knows it doesn't spin? Is that why you're here, to make it strengthen our argument? Because you don't seem to want to have the argument. Don't you want to prove Earth spins, Jose, to the rest of your fundy mates that you were fighting for and white knighting for? Don't you want their argument to come through? Why does the Foucault pendulum prove Earth spins?
Can you think in 3D?
You seem to be talking over me. You obfuscating this question. You fundy globe muting me. How does it prove Earth spins, Jose? There's a lot of people.
Can you think in 3D? Yeah.
You're doing it again every time I ask the question.
You made
He's fundy muting me. 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 Yeah, you're going to fundy muting me or let me ask the question. There's a lot of people riding on your answer to prove Earth spins. How does it prove Earth spins, Globehead?
When you see yourself in the mirror, do you freak out because you don't see the back of your head?
This is looking real bad, Jose. You understand that, right? Like, this is just ridiculous and pathetic.
There's a lot of people...
Exactly. Nathan is ridiculous and pathetic because he cannot understand a 3D picture of a sphere when I show it to him, man.
No, I'm asking you about the axial rotation argument that you moaned and bleated that didn't come through. I'm trying to have that argument with you, but you won't have it. You're refusing. You're distracting and dodging and squirming left and right. And I'm trying to find out, in light of the fact that you're squirming and dodging the argument about Earth rotation, why, I presume you think Earth turns, and think it's demonstrable and provable. So much so that you'll moan that the provable, demonstrable facts that didn't come through from R.C. Meisty need your white knighting. So, given that you've come here, courageous soldier, on your white horse, you're going to argue for that point that you feel needs justification.
First housekeeping question. Any evidence of curvature of the Earth? Yes. Pictures from space.
We've covered that. We've covered it. We're on axial rotation. We covered it. I'm asking you why you don't want to answer, why you're obfuscating and globehead Fundy muting me every time I ask the question. So why does the Foucault pendulum prove the Earth is spinning, globehead, that you moaned about this question for? Demonstrate it to us. Prove Earth spins.
Whistle by the first housekeeping
He's
question.
Fundy muting me again. He's Fundy muting me. He's talking over me. Seems to be talking over me every time I ask this question. Is it because it's a devastating question that you can't answer, that you have to talk every time I ask it? You won't let it be a complete question? I'll try again, see if he Fundy mutes me, because that's what they've got. Fundy mute buttons, talk over the question, make it seem like they don't have to answer, eh, Jose? So I'll try again. Let's see if you can have the whole question put to you. Given that you have complained that R.C. Meisty didn't get to put his argument, according to you, it was, quote, obfuscated, how does the Foucault pendulum prove your second law of thermodynamics violation, Earth in a vacuum rotates? Go.
That was the third question of the housekeeping. I missed the first and the second one because I was in the call, but I was muted. I want to address the first question. I
don't give a fuck what you want, you retard. We've gone past that. If you weren't here, you should have been here sooner. We've got to the point where you've come in and moaned that the axial rotation argument didn't get addressed. Now we're letting you address it.
I was here the first question, Nathan.
That's all you keep saying. I was here for the first question. Squirm, squirm. You came in to moan about this question, a question you seem to continually obfuscate. I know why he's obfuscating it, because Earth isn't rotating. Demonstrably not a proof of Earth rotation in the pendulum, because if it was rotating under the pendulum, it'd be rotating underneath the planes. I've already debunked this, but Jose seems to think it's necessary to bleat and moan about it, and then not continue the argument. Clearly because he recognises it's already been pummeled.
Yeah,
I was here for the first question.
He's just repeating himself over and over again. He's got to go. He's got to go. He just keeps saying, I was here for the first question every time the mic's opened on him. So all he's got to offer is a claim that he didn't get to answer the other questions. Who gives a shit about the other questions when he's come in and levelled accusations and claims at me for not letting that question be answered? And then has he got an answer? Has he? Hell! He's a complete retard. Jose is thick as shit. Anybody who thinks Jose's got more than 2 brain cells in his head, there's your demonstration of his complete idiocy. Can he address the argument he's bleating and moan about? No, of course he can't. He's thick as 2 short shites. If he had any arguments, he'd have had them. But no, what he can do is take the I'll moan about your show tactic. Because that'll win a point for the Globe, won't it? Moan about the format. A logical fallacy. It's called appeal to format, you dick. Yeah? Also, red herring after red herring after red herring. Yeah, you want to moan and bleat that we're not arguing and pummeling claims of Foucault pendulums proving a spinning Earth? Yeah, we'll shit on that every day of the week, Jose. And you've got nothing but your bleatings about my format. What a pathetic piece of shit.
And twice on Saturday.
Together.
But pictures from space, Nathan. Was such a great argument.
You really reverted back to like 2013, bro. Like,
yeah.
Pictures from space.
All it takes is a fisheye lens. All it takes is a fisheye lens, and you're a baller.
Couple of quick shout outs. So another shout out to Theo, who says RC was attempting to steer the conversation towards the racetrack analogy that I created, while simultaneously dismissing it, devolving to incoherence. Yeah, I agree. He's trying to get it onto one reference frame, so it's not Coriolis when he needs to retain angular momentum or whatever bullshit he claims. Yeah, right on, Theo. Thanks for the super chat. Also, shout out to Flat Ball, who says, flip-flop is dumb. Yeah, I totally agree. He hasn't got the slightest idea how to argue any of the housekeeping questions. All he can do is come along and moan that someone else didn't get a fair crack of the whip when they had their assertions absolutely pummeled. So yeah, right on, Flatball. Thanks for the super chat. And also shout out to theflatearthchannel.com, who's also one of my patrons. Thank you very much indeed for the super chat. Theflatearthchannel.com. Check it out today.
I will say a second shout out to Theo. That guy can explain perspective better than anybody I've ever heard. Shout out to that brother.
Yeah, I'll second that. Shout out. That's Theo, aka AI Overlord, on 24/7 Flat Earth Discord 2.0. It's one of the mods over there. He's really smart, really cool. He's killing RC all the time over there anyway. So RC's a little bit mad about it, I'm sure, but he'll be all right because I guess Jose's here to defend the defenders.
He's here to
It's
white knight for
ridiculous.
fundies. Pathetic.
It is pretty pathetic, I have to say.
Is
It's
anybody
sad
of the
to see
impression
that this is the same dude that used to come here, and this is how he's acting. Like, it's out of control, man. Like, go ahead, enjoy.
Well, is anybody of the impression that R.C. Meisty's argument was not absolutely and completely demolished here today? Yeah, he tried to even weasel his way out of what the actual explanation was. Coriolis effect. Pathetic. Happened the
I had
same
a
the other
reference
day.
up and ready. It explained exactly that the ground rotates underneath the pendulum. It was your exact words. I was just waiting for the okay, but you know, that's what they do. They obfuscate.
Yeah, same for the guy who came the other day. Gravity holds gas pressure, atmospheric pressure, onto the globe. What's gravity? I'm not going to get into what gravity is. I'm not going to argue down that rabbit hole. What that actually translates loosely to is, I know that you are absolutely going to demolish this claim, but I need to say gravity because it's part of the bullshit explanation I've been given by a priest. So I'm going to say it, even though I don't really want to defend it or define it.
Nathan, you just can't work out the math. That's the problem. You just can't math well. That's what it is. You can't calculate. These guys
No math
can
asserted.
calculate. That's what they have.
There's no math asserted in this example, though. I mean, who cares? Yeah, you can calculate things on it if you want to, but the assertion is that you've got a rotating reference frame turning under a non-inertial reference frame. That's what the example is claiming. It's as simple as that. I don't need to maths it to know what it's claiming. In order for that to take place, you need Earth rotating underneath aeroplanes, and that doesn't happen.
I think
you
what
don't
Paul
need
actually
math to figure that out.
right. I think what Paul actually meant to say was, you don't know how to presuppose the globe Earth properly, Nathan. That's really their complaint.
I know that too. I do know how to presuppose the globe Earth properly. You've got to know how to presuppose it properly to be able to unpick it.
So the gravity is the sealing barrier. Does gravity move with the spinning of the Earth too?
Sorry, what's gravity now?
Well, gravity, that's what's holding the atmosphere in, right? According to them.
What is it? We did this with Brenda earlier.
Does gravity move with the spinning of the Earth? The barrier of gravity? Does gravity move, or does gravity
If you think about it, right? Because gravity is only a concept. So if you think about it that it's moving around with the Earth, then sure, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Do whatever you want within reason.
Yeah.
I found it very interesting that pseudo-Ramonian force space, the word pseudo, sham, false, right? They actually put that there in front of that? That's not a flat earth trick, is it?
No, pseudo-Ramonian force space is the name of the geometry.
Okay, so Brenda comes on and is given ample time to explain what the word pseudo means. And then obviously he knows. So I don't see any car dealerships called pseudo car dealership or pseudo appliance shops. Only on this thing that's most essential for their side, they actually have the word pseudo in front of it.
You can get
Sham
pseudo
math?
air vents on cars. It means fake.
Right. I mean, if pseudo was such a benign word, I would have it in front of all kinds of businesses, but they just have it in front of the sham math that supposedly proves their side.
We'll get to hear more of this in the after show. So if you're watching this on Nathan Oakley premiering stream, then stay tuned, as I say, there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com. Oh, there's a couple more super chats. Shout out to Brendan for the OPP, don't know exactly what that means, and Constance Burns, I can't read it, it's trapped underneath of the super chats. I'll shout you out once the show's actually rounded out, but thank you, Constance Burns, also for the super chat. As I say, stay tuned if you're watching on Nathan Oakley. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!